Hi and welcome to another session of advanced readings. This is a technique that we use in spiritualism a lot, and it also inspired me when I had the oracle readings through the Nadi oracles, where messages were given to me thousands of years in advance, mind-boggling stuff. And also, of course, it's used in when you're using clairvoyance by email reading and sometimes by telephone. You know things before the person calls you. So I'm inspired by this technique and I hope it helps you. There could be a message here for you today. So you'll see me working in blue light for this, because this is how the medium can get close to spirit. We often use a red or blue light in my circle, particularly if you're doing physical or trance work. Anyway, hope you enjoy these sessions. Okay, I've got a very strong feeling with my next spirit connection of somebody very European, and I think I'm getting French here, because I'm getting a very French sort of feel about this spirit communicator. But my feeling is I don't think he lived in France. I think he's trying to give me the feeling that he was French and wants to reach out to somebody in another country apart from France who was he was very connected with. And I feel this could be it's interesting because I feel he was married a number of times, and he left each marriage on kind of a good note in some ways. I know that sounds strange to say, because marriages don't normally end well, but he's talking to people. He's talking to somebody, I think, that was not just his wife but also his ex-wife. He got on with both of them. And one of you is watching this now. It might even be an ex-wife of him that's getting this message from him in spirit. Now there's this French connection, and I feel very Parisian sort of French, so I feel like I'm in the town of Paris with him, because I'm seeing all the French cafes and things like that. And I get the feeling he may have actually worked in some of those cafes when he was a young man. He might have worked as a waiter or in some part with the catering somewhere early in his life. He went on though to make quite good money in life, because I get the sense from him of talking to me about having made money from possibly French products like wine and things like that, because and importing it, because I'm getting this feeling of being a businessman and at the same time a bit of a connoisseur of wine. So he was a wine importer, and he's importing it into another country. So I don't know whether I'm in England or whether I'm perhaps in America or somewhere, even Australia, because I get the sense that I'm doing something with international wine imports and exports. And he's reaching out not just to his wife but his ex-wife as well, because it's as if, we had our problems, I feel he wants to say. We never resolved them, and we both moved on, but without any hatred towards each other, and we still think of each other in both worlds. But it's like he sees it in a new way now, without feeling any he feels equal love to all the people that he had in life, because he was quite a fun sort of fella. I'm getting here. He could have quite a good sense of humour. He tried to see on the bright side of life, and yet there's also a little bit of the rascal to him as well, of somebody that was, he had a sort. He didn't fit like a square peg into a round hole. He was very much his own person, and kind of lived life a little bit on the edge sometimes, and that's why marriage kind of went wrong with him a lot of the time, because he's a very free sort of spirit with him, I want to say. And so I don't know, I think he's saying Pierre. I think that's what he's trying to give me of his name. And I don't know if there's also a name like Dupont, because I get something like Dupont as being very significant to this. Not necessarily his name, but there's a name connected with it called Dupont. And there's also a restaurant or something that he had connections with too. I'm not sure if he actually had part ownership in a restaurant later on, and the person listening to this might even still have some connection with that restaurant, even a possible part ownership, I feel, of the restaurant. It's like people that shouldn't get on with each other do get on with each other and create this restaurant. So does that make sense to you? Put a note if it's for you, because I feel this message will get out there and get taken. So he's just given his love from the spirit world. He says it's good over here. He says they still allow wine. And he's got a very sparkly eyes when he speaks to me. I can see his eyes when he's in my mind's eye when he's talking here. As a man that he wouldn't want to go to heaven if there was no wine there. Okay. So it's just a message to you to say, keep the restaurant going, I want to say. And the house is now secure, I want to say as well, because I feel there was a question mark over that house, but now it's secure, and he's pleased at that and is wishing you all well equally.
So maybe that message was for you, and if it was, please do leave a comment in the comments below on YouTube so that other people can recognize that this is real. I mean, if you look back at some of the older videos, you'll see that some of the most strange and obscure messages have been taken to the letter, and there's been some interesting stories that are developed once a person has made the comment. So leave a comment, and even if the message isn't for you, it's still a good idea to leave a comment, because this helps spirit to connect with us and maybe get you a message next time.
Okay, this is a message for somebody that's just lost their job or been sacked, I want to say, because it feels very unfair. I'm getting this sense of dismissal. I'm seeing here a company that was taken over. It's like another company's bought. The company was doing all right to begin with. Things went wrong. Another company's come in and bought it out, and they started stripping out all the stuff, and they've been absolutely ruthless. And they've come up with artificial ways of getting rid of you. So I feel they made any excuse to get rid of people. So they're trying to sack people without giving any form of redundancy or recompense for the dismissal. And I feel that there's a bit of a tribunal or something going on, and we feel like we're going to court over this. And there's a whole load of you that have all been put in the same boat at the same time with the same problem. You know, now this company that you're dealing with has a kind of a bit of a scientific feel to it. I don't know if it's a pharmaceutical type of company maybe, or it has a strong IT connection with it, because I feel high-tech, intelligent people involved in this. And the person receiving this message would have just had this news. How can I get... I also want to say, I've got to say this name, Cotton. All right. I don't know if that name means something to you as a surname or something. I heard Cotton, the word Cotton, as a possible surname. For some reason, that connects. If you understand it, put it in the message below. But it seems to connect with you personally, who's receiving this message. And the company has connections with the Far East, because I'm seeing like China, possibly Hong Kong, and this is where the connections all went wrong, where everything went wrong. It's as if we can't sell our product again, and that's why you've been left out on a limb and basically had to close the door on what was previously a very lucrative job. But not to fear, I feel you're going to get some more work. I think there's going to be this ongoing case in the background, but I wouldn't focus all your work and energy in on that too much. I would focus on pastures new if I was you, and get something different and make a new start. So that can be a bonus if it comes up and you get it through. I think it will work out because there's a group of you taking a company to court over this. But even if it all goes through, it's going to take time. Focus on the new work. And I feel that you've changed your way of doing things quite a lot. I feel that you've got much more IT focused actually, and less hands-on work. And actually your knowledge is being able to be used in a slightly different way. My feeling is you might be moving into sort of a sales type job, more so with it. It has more, like it gets bonuses and it gets benefits like that. And actually I think you're going to do very well with that. And ultimately, you're going to put all of this behind you, because eventually I feel you'll have your own business. Also, I heard David as a name that seems to connect with what I'm saying here, and Michael or Michelle is also connected around this. And there's somebody also there's someone also with a Chinese name are connected here around this whole group of people. Chan or Chang or something like that. It's a common Chinese name. Something like that is also around in this whole setup here. I might be picking up that all of you who are working together, because I feel multiple numbers if you watch this video. It will work out. You'll get your dismissal case sorted out, and then I think you'll be able to take them to a tribunal and get your recompense. But I wouldn't go too far with it, because the company's on its last legs anyway, because I think the company that's come in is also in trouble. All right, so you're just as well getting something new. Okay, this is a message for somebody. I'm going to put the name Parks. It's a bit like my name, last part of my name, Parker, but I've got Parks or something that seems to want to be, I want to say here. And there's something about a holiday or vacation that you've just come back from that's been just an absolute disaster, and it's all been problem. You've been called back, but also the vacation itself went wrong. And there's lots of upset because we've come back and we've had a rotten time because things have gone wrong. So the name, I want to say Parks is the name I want to put out there for this. And I also hear the name Jeffrey too, Jeff or Jeffrey, as being a name that seems to be significant around the aura of the person who I'm trying to connect with here with this message. So you've just come back from this disastrous holiday. I feel there's also been a death a little while back too, not that far back. I don't think this happened at the exact time of the holiday. I think it happened a few months before. There was another problem of a gentleman went to spirit who was a good, cheerful sort of man, older man, I want to say, had quite a long life. For his age, even when he was old, he looked tall. We get a bit shorter when we get taller because our bones shrink, but he still looked very tall man, and had a feeling of somebody that enjoyed fishing, and talks about a place called the Trout. I don't know, a place called the Trout. I don't know whether that was I've never heard of a pub called that, but there was the Trout or something. I maybe because I'm seeing one of those stuffed fish in a glass cabinet. Right, so there was something like that had happened. So that's the gentleman that's connected with this. But anyway, for the person that's receiving the message, and you've just come back from this disastrous period, and I've got to say to you, it feels like everything's been going wrong in your life all at once. You know, I mean, I've had all that problem with the vacation and holiday because I couldn't get my money back. I want to say I couldn't get my money back, and it's caused a lot of discourse and arguments between other people because everybody's getting stressed and upset with things. And I also think there's a house for sale as well that's not been put on the market and had to be taken off, and there's been a sort of delay with it, which is problematic because it's causing all sorts of backlogs in your cash flow and your money and things like that. So you've got all these property issues around you at the same time, plus coming back from a vacation that was supposed to take your mind off it and made things worse. So it's just a complicated period ahead. And I have to say to you, don't go in with the horns. Step back. You know, you should have been able to step back with the vacation you couldn't do, but now you can. And you need to just ease back and not storm in. Simplicity, I want to say. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Try and get one part of the problem sorted out at a time. It's like you've got multiple things. There might be more than one property here that's up for sale. And if we've got multiple properties we're trying to deal with, try to do one at a time and you've only got so much energy. So get one bit sorted, next bit sorted, next bit sorted. Even though they all need to be sorted tomorrow, I think you can only do it one bit at a time. And this is more concerned with property issues. It's like I've got 3 properties, all that seem to be up for sale, ready for sale, or got to be letted. There's something like that. But you'll sort it out. It'll be, and I feel that you've got the opportunity to become quite an affluent and well-off person. And once you've got that confusion sorted out in your life, you can start looking again at doing more spiritual-minded things. Because although I feel you're a very well-off person, you're also a person that wants to do some good in the world, wants to do some help in the world, wants to kind of be like me and Jane are doing, helping people a bit, trying to put something back. And I feel that that's something that you're going to be doing too, in a different way to we're doing it. But I feel that it's like you want to help the homeless, you know, even though you've got the property issues yourself. I feel as if you put something back and you're doing something where you may help the homeless and feed the hungry. I'm just seeing something like that happening in your life. So it's right that you look after your own life first and get your own finances in position, get everything sorted out in your life, and then when your life is sorted, you can do something for the world as well. And that's how I feel you're going. Later in life, I feel you'll be getting something involved in politics. Okay, perhaps standing as a politician. Okay, that's my message for you, and hopefully that's reached the appropriate person, and do put a message if it's correct. Okay, thank you.
So I hope that helped, because it's lovely doing this and giving messages to people out there, and I know some of you get very excited by the messages that you get, so thank you for your feedback. And if you do enjoy watching all this, why not come and get a reading at my website? Because I've got a team of readers, you know, that are on there 24/7, and there's lots of special deals there at the moment. For example, in the UK, if you're a new customer, you can use our welcome offer and get 29 pence a minute for the first 10 minutes, so you can try a reading for very little. Same with the USA, we've got 59 cents per minute for the first 10 minutes on the welcome offer. So thanks for watching my channel, and do come back and follow us. Click that little bell thingy at the bottom of the page there. We do loads of things here, as well as all these readings. We've got my family involved, we've got all sorts of investigations, we've got my mystic talks, so we're inspired, we got lots of readings, you'll see our stuff with the media and all sorts of things. So keep watching, and keep watching now, because coming up will be the playlist of more videos like this one today, so there could be another message there for you today.